Closer look at the Evolve skateboard. This is the Pintail series. Fantastic board, beautiful, more of a longboard. It's a beautiful cruisy riding board. Fantastic for beach footpaths, roads, all concrete surfaces really. It's just a lovely carving machine, but yet you can fully hook in if that's the kind of riding you like to do. Now, I'll talk about the skateboard side of things first. Now, as for the deck, as you can see, it's a great shape. We're using bamboo for our construction of our decks. 6-ply bamboo, vertically laminated construction. We've got a slight little camber on the board, like a snowboard. We have a nice little W for the concave, sort of raised in the guts, and a little bit of a concave through the. You can see, I don't know if you can, but anyway, and so yeah, that's the deck. I've got 3 pinstripes going down, which are carbonized. So it's a quality product and has a nice amount of flex and feel underfoot. Now down to our skateboard wheels. We're using 83mm high performance, high rebound polyurethane. The size is 83 by 52mm. So we have two types. We've got a more of a harder 80A diameter, and then we also have a more of a softer buttery riding wheel, which is more like a 76A. So we have a choice. So these wheels, 83, they're a bit more on the larger size, but fantastic for for stability and riding performance. So these just go over all terrain on the road. If you encompass rocks or expansion joints or that sort of stuff, no problems. These wheels just hammer straight over it. We're also using ABEC 9, both ceramic bearings and just normal ABEC 9 bearings. We have a choice here, so we're not compromising on any quality there. So the wheels just spin. They're quiet. They're smooth. They're awesome, really. Now, down to the truck. Now, this is where it's at. Really proud of this truck. It's a double truck system. I don't know if you can see it closely here, but there's 3 components to the truck. We've got a hanger, we've got an arm through the guts, and then we have our base plate, and a double bushing system. At the moment, I'm using the Evolve 95As at the bottom. Making them super hard for stability, and then I'm using softer 90As up top. So you can mix and match your combinations here, but with this double truck system, you've got 2 turning capabilities here. You can just turn on a dime, but yet it has major stability, so it's so much like a surfy feel. Now, the good thing about these trucks also, because there's 2 kingpins, you can adjust each one to however you want to ride. So the finer tweaks changes the whole performance of the board. That's the best thing about this skateboard and the electric longboard is just how these trucks and wheels handle as a longboard. So basically, you can tighten them up for stability and all that, or you can just loosen them up for like full-on sidewalk surfing kind of stuff. But this is the Evolve Supercarb truck, we call them. Great truck, and it works beautifully for our electric longboards and longboards. Now, down to the electrical side of things that's driving this board. Now, this has been a long time in the making. We are using very small brushless motors. These motors are high torque. In fact, they've got 5,000 RPMs, and we're using more of a low wattage motor, 200 watt, but it maxes out sort of high 200s. So small brushless motor, but high torque gives this a small light feel, but yet it don't be fooled by how small the motor is. This thing hauls ass. So we're using a brushless setup. We're using a 36 volt custom made lithium polymer battery. It's super light, it's super thin, and it just kees going. The performance is fantastic. I wouldn't even think about using anything else. Don't even bother about using lead acid products. It's just a waste of time. So if you're in the market for buying an electric skateboard, don't even look at buying those cheap, shitty lead acid boards, because you're going to be let down. So I don't deal with that. It's only lithium. Now it's super thin, and because it's so thin and light, it makes the whole board extremely light. As you can see, you can lift it with one hand. It's just, it's great. It's portable. Actually, it weighs just under 9 kilos in total weight. So now with the electrics, we're using a brand new circuitry that's been specially designed to match our lithium battery as well as our brushless motor. It's a Bluetooth connection and a brushless controller, so it's a different sort of setup. This controller is very advanced. It's extremely quiet. It's really efficient, and because it's so quiet and efficient, and the parameters are set perfectly with each other, and not to mention we've got these great wheels and bearings. This also enables the board just keep going. It just rolls and rolls like a normal skateboard, even in neutral mode. But so this enables to get a great longevity out of the battery. I reckon, depending on how you ride it, no problems. You should get 2 hours for one charge. So really, if you ride this board for 2 hours, you're stuffed. You don't want to ride for that long. You want to get off the board. An hour is really long enough, but it goes for 2 hours if you want it to.
I just got the Evolve Pintail electric skateboard in the mail. I ordered this thing on the weekend. It was shipped from Malaysia, and today's Wednesday, and I already got it here in Hawaii. So, super fast shipping. Box arrived intact, and looks like it was just shipped from anywhere else. Thing was wrapped up really nicely in the bubble wrap. I took that off, and then I unboxed pieces here, and then this is what I got. Have the charger. It has the international plug, but you just buy one of these and just plugs right in. I think you can get this at Radio Shack or somewhere. I travel quite a bit, so I already had one. And the controller comes with the manual. Even got some extra bushings. These are the softer bushings. Because of the double truck system, I think these are a little bit firmer bushings on the base, and then a little bit looser bushings here. So I'm going to try it first and see which setup I like the best. But a couple things that I noticed. One, the ply on the board is 6 ply, but it seems really stiff, because I was worried about that, whether it could hold my weight, at 210, 212 pounds right now. On the carve board, the one with the big fat wheels I had before, it was if forget what it was, a 7-ply or something like that, and it was really flexy. I wanted it stiffer, but this one looks pretty good. This one I don't think I'm gonna have an issue with. Loving these double truck system. Another thing, I was really pleased in the weight. I picked up the box with the board in it, and it was lighter than I thought it was going to be. So when I picked up the board without all the stuff on it and without the box, it feels lighter to me than 20 pounds, which is definitely doable and no problem. This board in real life looks way better than it does in the pictures and on the internet. Okay, I'm going to look at it from the side. One question that I had before was how much clearance is there actually underneath the battery box? So look at my hand and the ground. Looks like there's enough, unless you're going over a curb and hit something. But this board is fairly easy to use. Push the button right here, light turns blue. Push the button right here. Now it's connected. Pull this thing back, starts going. Push it forward for brake. Push this button right here to make it fast mode. That light starts blinking more. And a brake. Push this button right here for reverse. Now all three lights blink. Reverse. Push it again. Now we're in fast mode. Hold the button down. Turns off. Push that button. It's off. Pretty simple. Also, watch this. How does it roll on its own? No problem. Listen, watch this. You can't even hear the motor. This thing is super quiet.
Lower top for you? Okay.
I ended up changing out the bushings for 2 sets of soft bushings, and the turning radius became much better, much easier to turn. Only problem is this: wheel bite. This wheel now bit right into this area and I flew off. Alright, after riding this thing over a few days for maybe about 2 hours total, this is what I'm noticing. One, I really like the way that the wheels spin. If you can tell, just even straight out of the box, they spin really nicely. Just seem to keep going and going and going. Also, down here, even after riding it for probably about 40 minutes or so, this is not really that hot to the touch, although the motor is pretty hot to the touch. This is slightly hot, but this is pretty hot. When you're riding this board, because I'm not a experienced longboard skateboarder, this is what I am noticing. If I wanted to turn more like a skateboard, step back here, more toward the rear wheel, and try and push off more off my rear foot like I would when I'm surfing. But I find that the natural position on this board seems to be toward the front, like this foot up here closer to the front part of the wheel, and this one in front of the wheels and in front of where the mounting bolts are. This gives a much more snowboardy-ish kind of feel because the tail seems to be turning, whereas in surfing the nose tends to turn. One cool thing about this is that you can walk all over it. So you can come to the back and try and turn off the back, and then come up here to the front and do a little, cheater 5 and ride around like that. When I'm using the remote, what I notice, especially when I'm going on flat ground or just as I'm coming up over a hill, is that there's like a slingshot type of effect where the board, almost like the feeling I get when I do like tow-in for surfing. Now I don't drop in on big waves, but you know, we used to have a jet ski and tow in behind it on you know, medium-sized waves. And that feeling of you get towed, and then you get whipped around, and once you let go, it's kind of, you get that slingshot effect, and then you get into the wave, and then the wave starts to push you. That's kind of what I feel like when I'm riding this, either on flat ground or on slight inclines and then going to the decline. You hold the trigger down, you're going at this somewhat consistent pace, and then you let it go, and then it goes, the free spinning of the wheels take over, and it's a much more natural kind of a feeling. But overall, after a few hours, couple hours or so of riding this thing, I'm really liking it. I'm noticing though that on inclines like this right here, I don't know if you can see it, it's probably about a 15% incline or so, something like that. That incline for this skateboard is okay, and at my weight, which is about 210, 212 pounds right now, but anything really much more than 15% is this board at my weight will have a harder time. I'm sure a lighter person, it might be okay, but not for me. The low end torque, if it could be increased on this board as opposed to the high end speed, would be more important for me because I live in an area with quite a bit of hills. But overall, I'm really satisfied with this board. In the description, it says 6-ply on the deck, and I thought, oh, 6-ply may be kind of thin, because on my carve board, which had the big pneumatic tires, it was, I don't know what it was. It was like a 7-ply. It was 1 or 2 plies under the maximum one, which I thought was 8 or 9, and it was not stiff enough. It was too flexy. And this one I kind of like a bit stiffer. That's just my preference, and some people may like real flexy, but to me this board so far is working out really, really good. It's lighter than I thought it would be. It's definitely much more slick. People can't really tell that it's electric until they see me going uphill. And these ABEC wheels are really nice and smooth. So all in all, I think this is a winner. I think it's worth the money. If I had to do it again, I would buy it again.